Our news here at 8:02, the Republican National Convention entering into its second day.
That's right. Elex Michelson is in Milwaukee with how the event is turning former political foes into friends.
Melvin, Jen, good morning to both of you. We are now at a conference hosted by USC and the Annenberg School, and also the Annenberg School at the University of Pennsylvania. More on that in a moment. But let's talk about the big headlines of the day at the Republican National Convention. And let's start with Nikki Haley, who we've got some video of, who is going to be speaking tonight in prime time at the Republican National Convention, which was sort of unheard of even a few weeks ago. But in light of what happened and the shooting of Donald Trump, there was a reach-out effort, and Nikki Haley, as an effort to unite the party, will be speaking tonight. Speaking of that shooting, we saw President Trump last night. We've got some video of him with a bandage over his ear. He, of course, had been shot in the ear, which barely missed his brain by a few inches. Got a raucous applause last night as he entered the arena with so many grateful fans there cheering for him. And you see him there standing next to his pick for vice president. That was the other big headline of last night. J.D. Vance, the senator from Ohio, 39 years old, Marine Corps veteran, author of Hillbilly Elegy, and now vice presidential nominee. We should hear from him on stage tomorrow night. Back out here live, so I'm honored as an alum of USC that they asked me to help moderate a panel at this event today. And joining me for that is Greta Van Susteren, of course, a familiar face to so many people, now anchor at Newsmax. Greta, great to see you.
Nice to see you.
And it's nice to be in your home of Wisconsin, so thank you for
That's right. I do a lot of bragging about it because I grew up about 100 miles from here, so like I'm a Packers shareholder. I left here many years ago, but my heart's still here.
Okay, good to see you here. So let's talk about that moment last night, what it felt like, President Trump coming back, and now Nikki Haley going to be with him tonight.
You know, I've covered conventions, I think, going back to at least 2000, when Gore versus Bush, maybe back even to 96. I've been covering them all. These are cheerleading events. I mean, your whole team is in the room. But this was obviously different because President Trump came in with that bandage on his ear, and the place went wild. They would have gone wild anyway, but they went wilder because, you know, it was such an extreme thing to happen, and he was so close to getting that bullet in the brain, as you suggested, and he credits Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson having given him a chart, and he happened to be talking about the chart that he was talking about, and so he was just in the right position to have it catch his ear but not catch his brain.
What do you make of Nikki Haley coming out tonight?
Well, the theme for President Biden 4 years ago was unity, and President Biden has had a hard time with unity. He doesn't even have any unity in his own party right now. So I think that was probably planned well before the shooting because they want to bring those moderate Democrats, the never-Trumpers, so to speak, they want to bring them back into the tent. So I think that was an effort to bring her back in the tent. I actually suspected that she might be the nominee. She's been out of sight. Her father died a while ago, so I think that's a couple weeks ago, so I think that's why she's out of sight. But I thought that he might choose someone like her to do that. Instead, she's going to speak tonight. But instead, he chose someone who is much like he is on things, on policies, on international matters, and so on. And so I'm surprised by the pick a little bit.
And maybe that's a sign of his confidence, because right now it seems like he is ahead in the race. Joe Biden has been struggling. Where does Biden go from here? Well,
you know, Biden's got a heavy lift, and we'll see what rabbit they're going to pull out of the hat in the next couple of weeks. But the J.D. Vance pick was, to me, a sign that Trump's confident he's going to win. He didn't put on a particular candidate to draw a particular part of the country or a particular gender, or a particular race. Is that he's confident he got someone pretty much like him. I think also, and this has to do with your home state of California, I think he has his eyes on Vice President Kamala Harris because she's a formidable foe in a debate. I don't know if you remember, but back in 2020 when she was running for president against President Biden, on that debate stage, she took him apart. She practically took him apart limb by limb. Yeah. She's a tough debater. And J.D. Vance, smart lawyer, Yale graduate. I couldn't get into Yale if my life depended on it. So anyway, so I think I think having Nikki Haley is a uniting thing, but I think it was just a gesture.
Okay. Greta, thank you so much. We're going to talk a lot more in there as part of this event, and we'll be back with you in the 9 o'clock hour for more coverage.
Great analysis. All right,
thanks, Alex. Appreciate you.